Greetings nerdy list aficionados, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we are looking at even more power restrictions. You all can't get enough and we love talking about it. So we've dug deep, we've gotten obscure, and we're going to be giving you the top 10 superheroes with weird power restrictions part 3. I'm Sasha, and before we get started I have to give a shout out to Eric Griffin. He pointed out that I'd been remiss and forgotten Larfleeze's oath. But kindly. As I said in the comments, it's been a long time between me and the emotion spectrum, and I made the foolish mistake of believing that my memory was not failing me. Me and all the rest of us here at Top 10 Nerd are human, and it's a journey. Side note, always be researching. Don't ever just take one source. And when you can, read the comics for yourselves. There is absolutely no substitute for it. We are a gateway, a stop on the journey. So thanks Eric, appreciate it. Now, let's get to it. Number 10, Alan Scott and Wood. We're going back to the golden age for this one, and back to the first Green Lantern. Green Lantern first debuted in All-American Comics number 16 back in July of 1940. He got his powers from a mystic meteor, which is found by him, Alan Scott, a young railroad engineer. It tells him to fashion a ring, which he does, cause you do what glowing rocks and things on fire tell you to. He uses his powers to take on crime. It is then that he learns that his weakness is wood. He can create a force field, but wood and clubs, he's down for the count. Also, this used to extend to plant-based objects, but it had to quickly get specific, cause well, that's a lot of things. Why was his ring vulnerable against wood? Reasons. Initially for tension, otherwise I mean who could beat a man with a magic ring and the confidence to wear a costume made of that many colors. Later the idea was introduced in an Elseworld story, Superman and Batman Generations 2, that the weakness was a mental block. To which I say, sure Jan, just like the yellow weakness. Now this was the golden age, so of course it needs to be regarded differently, but you know what didn't happen in the golden age? Our number 9. Number 9, Power Girl and Unprocessed Materials. Power Girl has an intriguing history. She first appeared in All-Star Comics number 58 back in 1976, and is Superman's cousin Kara Zor-El from an alternate universe. She was initially from Earth 2, the realm that was said to house the Golden Age wartime heroes. This had been created to explain the differences between the Golden Age and the Silver Age. However, over time she has been phased into the main verse, or well, she was. Since Rebirth, she's kind of been trapped. DC has long had a problem with deciding just how to portray her, which has resulted in some fluctuations in powers and weaknesses. At first she was all Kryptonian, but post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, where she survived an event that was meant to clean up the timelines and all confusion, which actually caused more confusion, and resulted in incidents such as 1997's Supergirl Volume 4 number 16, wherein she proclaimed sticks and stones can really break my bones. Why? Because they didn't know what to do. They were trying to make her different in a way aside from her rather bountiful chest, which boob window for life. It was an odd period and quickly forgotten. Number 8, Captain Marvel Jr. So the Shazam family, as they are now called, they started out as the Marvel family, but you know, legalities. So Captain Marvel Jr. debuted in Wiz Comics number 25 back in 1941. He was a companion character to Captain Marvel and meant to be relatable to readers, so he remained a teenager initially, and his regular form was a teenager too. He at first didn't say Shazam to transform, and instead he said Captain Marvel, which resulted in the dilemma that he couldn't say his own superhero name, which doesn't sound like too big a deal until an occurrence that would arise a decent amount. People would ask him what his name was. You know, our hero, who can we say has saved us? And he'd have to be, oh you know, Captain. All of this was changed when DC took over Fawcett Comics' assets, and for some reason the New 52 was blonde. Number 7, Geoforce. Geoforce these days is best known as, oh, Tara's brother, but there was a time when he stood on his own as well. He first debuted in The Brave and the Bold number 200 back in 1983, but he had been mentioned beforehand. Geoforce is Brian Markov, and he is the Prince of Moldavia, enhanced by Dr. Jace to stop an insurrection by Baron Bedlam. After all of this, he joined the Outsiders. His powers as one can glean are Earth-based. He can manipulate the Earth's gravitational field, he can make objects heavier or lighter, and can project lava blasts. Sometimes he can utilize his powers a bit like Tara, but that weakens his durability. However, his true weakness, his restriction, to be at max power, he needs to be touching the ground. And the further he gets away from the Earth, the weaker he gets, and his health will start to be affected too. So no space missions for Brian. Otherwise, do you know what happens? Number 6 happens. Number 6, Adam Strange. Earth Withdrawal. Adam Strange first debuted in Showcase number 17 back in 1958. He's a classic. He was created because DC Comics wanted a science fiction hero. Adam Strange is an archaeologist who suddenly finds himself teleported from Peru to Ran, the planet Ran, through a Zeta beam. The beam was sent out by Sardath in hopes that it would bring intelligent life to their world to help in their war. Drawn into a conflict he doesn't fully understand, Strange falls in love with the beautiful alien Alana and comes to care for Ran more than his original homeworld. Here's the thing though. He physically can't stay on Ran for as long as he wants for a variety of reasons, or couldn't rather. Initially he would sometimes just randomly be teleported back to Earth, most often in times of narrative inconvenience for maximum drama. Cliché, but it worked. Also, the environment of Ran, well, it's not conducive for human health. If he remains on Ran for more than 1 year without returning to Earth, at some point, he'll die. Makes his marriage a little complicated, but not too much. With modern DC tech, it's just a hop, a jump, and a teleport away. Still, the kind of thing you might forget. Maybe. I wouldn't forget it. Number 5. Angel Dust and Adrenaline. Angel Dust is a more recent addition to the list, debuting in Morlocks number 1 in 2002. She's a mutant with the power to elevate her adrenaline levels. When in this mode, she can lift a max of 25 tons, but she can only do this for a short amount of time, or she'll exhaust and hurt herself. It's like a regular person who activates their adrenaline, but only with a higher limit. Have you seen the things a protective mom will do? I've turned into the Hulk more than once. I think Angel Dust may just be a regular person. That's a joke, and probably not a good one. Number 4. Rose Wilson. Rose Wilson is the daughter of the infamous DC villain Deathstroke, aka Slade Wilson, who is also the inspiration for Deadpool, Wade Wilson. She was injected with the same serum as her father to enhance her, as he was enhanced by the Hive. She has increased reflexes, stamina, and strength, but she was prone to bouts of psychotic rage, like gouging her own eye out so she looked like her father. She could also increase her abilities through adrenaline. However, this would leave her metabolism unbalanced, and it would ultimately weaken her and cause her to get sick. So it was a trade-off. Since the New 52, you can forget all that. Classic knowledge you'll never need. Number 3. HAVOK and 17 Hours. So HAVOK is Cyclops' brother and a really prominent member of the X-Men in the comic verse. So HAVOK absorbs ambient cosmic energy and then discharges it in plasma form, or as a blast. Here's the thing, his body is always collecting this energy, and once he reaches capacity, it immediately starts emitting it. His chest will show how much energy is left, and if he depletes it all, well, he'll be useful again in 17 hours. 17 whole hours, so plan around that, villains. I mean, on the one hand, it's excellent that he knows this, but on the other hand, it's quite the hindrance and can be exploited. Hence, a weird restriction. Number 2. Wolverine and the MURAMASA blade. For this, we're going to be talking about the second MURAMASA blade. And yes, my enunciation may be off in a language that I do not speak. This blade was forged utilizing a little piece of Wolverine's soul, and it's ridiculous. This sword is sliced through one of Cyclops' optic beams and can reduce healing factors. However, according to Wolverine, it's the one thing on Earth that can truly kill him. I don't know, good trade-off? But if I was essentially immortal, it would be comforting to know that there was something out there to end eternity. Seriously, think about the existential terror of eternal life. It's scary. And number 1. I've been chomping at the bit to talk about this one since the video started. Cookies. Martian Manhunter and cookies. I mentioned Martian Manhunter's love of cookies on the scary alien superheroes list we did, and now I get to elaborate. John Jones loves Chocos, which are 100% not Oreos because those are trademarked. These chocolate cream-filled cookies are completely different. This all happened during John's time on the Justice League International. At first it all seemed cool, they were his favorite snack, okay. But then Booster Gold and Blue Beetle pranked him, buying up the whole town's supply of Chocos and then stole the ones he already had. And while John went into withdrawal and turned into a literal monster, his intellect even lowered and he became very Hulk-like. The team had to lead him to the cookie stash, and he ate them till he returned to normal. Batman then discovered that a chemical in the cookies acted like a narcotic in Martians, leading to the great line, "You're a junkie, a Chocos junkie." Now some say this never happened as John was narrating it, but to them I say, how dare you. Also, the JLI are fun books, read them. So those were 10 more superheroes with weird power restrictions. How do you feel about some villains next time? Sound off in the comments below. I'm Sasha, and thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more nerdy lists, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.